Okay, welcome to my part two, where I'm going to show and demonstrate phase three, the actual result. We now know the triggers and the store procedure and the function works. I'll show you each transaction. This is the book appointment transaction. It's going to get an input from the user, and then we're going to call the store procedure book appointment, which I showed right here. And then we call. And to ensure that just in case a deadlock does occur, we got the for loop, aka the retry mechanism, so that the transaction can still have a couple of attempts before officially failing. So based off the status code the store procedure gives, is going to print out an output and then roll back the transaction in case of an error. And it's going to check for a deadlock, of course. The second transaction is update lab test result. We have the same retry mechanism as before. We're going to read the user input as lab order ID. Make sure that it actually exists first. And then we're going to update it with the given result. And then test for deadlock. The third transaction is process of billing or payment. We're going to get an ID and then convert it to decimal. Make sure that the decimal actually works and follows the business rules. And they're going to ensure that it is actually a valid payment. And once after all those checks pass, we're going to ask the query, make sure the bill ID exists, and then we're going to calculate from the query, gonna make a new paid amount, gonna determine the payment status, whether or not the payment amount does exceed or is equal to the amount charged. And then from there, we're gonna update the status with the bill. And of course, like before, check for deadlocks and then retry. So we can do some error handling for there. And for the last one, it's going to be a read one. It's going to ask us for a patient ID. It's going to give this summary of read reports. It's going to make sure that the patient actually exists. If not, then just roll back. And then it's going to execute the following queries in the following order stated in the requirements. And as before, we got the retry it method so that in case any deadlocks do occur, we have the face safety measure there. And this is the unit test here. It's going to run all four of these functions here. And then it's going to call in the main. So let's try it out. And since we're playing around with, how do you say this? With inputs, I'm going to open another terminal here. We're going to SSH into the terminal and run the same stuff and see what happens to test if a deadlock does occur. So I'm going to put in my password here. And I'm just going to keep it like that. Make sure I got it. All right. Now I'm going to run Python 3 phase3.py. Call Python 3 phase3.py. Here we go. So now these two terminals are running concurrently, and we're going to add some extra error handling there. We're going to input the same exact data and see what happens. So I have my test cases here, another window. So for my patient ID, I'm going to book an appointment. Let's see, appointment. I'll select everything from appointment. I'm going to use appointment this. I'm going to use this patient and this doctor right here. So patient ID P1201, doctor ID 201. I'm gonna set to this year of May 20. Start time at 10 o'clock. And department, I'm gonna make it cardiology. Now for the other one, I'm gonna make the same one. same date, 05 20 10 0, same time. I'm gonna make it a different department. Let's say neurology. Yep. And so I'm gonna relearn this. I'm gonna run this too. So they're both running. They are both running. It says insertion successful. And I said error conflict patient because the patient already has appointment at the exact date and time. So if I run this again, this is the inserted appointment on this time, so I cannot make a new appointment there. So no deadlocks occurred, and we're going smoothly so far. Now, lab test result. I want to see what I want to change. Let's see, so from lab test. I want to change this lab result from pending to normal to abnormal. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do L4001. I'm going to change it to normal. Now before I hit enter, I'm going to use the same ID, and I'm going to change it to abnormal. I'm going to run these two. So it says update lab test successful and update lab test successful. Since this window was the last one to execute, from pending, it's definitely going to say abnormal now. So that's what happens. No deadlocks occurred. We're still good to go, and we still got concurrencies running. So now we're going to enter bill ID. Now we're going to change the amount paid, so we can see what kind of billing account. Select everything from billing. Let's see. I want to change this one. What do you call it? I want to change the amount paid for this one here. So I'm gonna add $100. How about that? Or not $100. Let's see. P6004. Payment amount. Let's add $50. Why not? $50. Now before I hit that, I'm gonna do the same thing. B6004. And then I'm gonna make it a little fun and do 80.05. There you go. That's my payment there. So I'm gonna run this. I'm gonna run this. So it was able to process the first one, and it's all able to process the second one. Let's check it out. What we got? As you can see, it did run both transactions. No deadlocks occurred, and we got a new amount paid given the billing ID right here. So for the last one, we're gonna generate a new patient history. So I'm gonna do which one had an outstanding amount? Let's do this one again. The P1004. So I'm gonna do P1004 before I enter. Do the exact same thing. P1004. Enter, enter. See, both transactions were able to successfully run. No deadlocks occurred. It gives my accurate amount. It gives my accurate amount right here. So that is my phase 3. And of course, I incorporated the business rules and such. And that's for another time to test. But I did enforce the business rules. Other than that, that's my phase 3, and that's my entirety of my project. I want to thank you for watching.